appreciate a guy who moves and boxes. I mean, you have to appreciate it all. If you're a true boxing fan, Floyd gets, you know, a bad rap for being a mover and a runner. Floyd takes his fair share of punishment. He always answers. He doesn't always move. He stands there, but he's just so good. He makes it look easy, and people sometimes get frustrated with that, but that's not Floyd Mayweather's problem.
So the stars in attendance await, the fans around the world await. Hey, we've waited 5 long years. What's a few extra minutes, right, Andre?
100%. I agree. I'm not complaining.
We talked about it throughout the night. Las Vegas, known as the fight capital of the world, and I coined the phrase, all the capital is in this fight. Mayweather negotiating a 60-40 split when it comes to the record revenue that this fight is expected to generate. Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao both will probably make 9 figures tonight in Manny Pacquiao's dressing room. We take a peek as we see his longtime associate Buboy Fernandez to his left. They grew up together in the Philippines, getting his gloves taped and signing off as the Nevada State Athletic Commission. Money is such a big part of this. It's all about the pecuniary pursuit, as it were. And you got to give it to Floyd Mayweather, though. He is literally putting his money where his mouth is. Why do I say that, Andre? How much do your mouthpieces cost, my friend? On average, what do you spend on your gum shield?
A good mouthpiece is anywhere, you know,
$100 to $200, you say.
that's on the high end.
Well, it's interesting you mentioned $100 because Floyd Mayweather's mouthpiece has $100 bills inside it. Made a go flex. He spent $25 grand on the thing.
Unbelievable. I mean, that's Floyd Mayweather Jr. I mean, that's just who he is.
So the anticipation continues to build for Floyd Mayweather versus Manny Pacquiao. A convivial atmosphere here in Las Vegas. Everyone just happy to be a part of this amazing event. Nearly 1,000 credentialed members of the media covering the event all week from all points around the world. And as we take a look around the MGM Grand, there isn't a seat to be had. I don't think there's a person sitting in their seat right now. I think everybody can stand at Well, last time Floyd Mayweather was in attendance here at the MGM Grand, it was the rematch with Marcos Maidana, improving to 47-0. Manny Pacquiao picked up his 57th career win, dropping Chris Algeria a total of 6 times on route to a victory in Macau. Now, Manny Pacquiao no stranger as well to the MGM Grand. Some of his biggest moments have come in this venue. When Las Vegas first took the mantle of the fight capital of the world away from the Mecca, Madison Square Garden, Andre, it was in the late 70s at the Outdoor Stadium at Caesars Palace. But in this era, it's all about the MGM Grand.
Yeah, it's about MGM Grand. You gotta give a lot of credit, or if not all the credit, to fighters like Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather. New York still has a place for sure. Always had a place, but there's something special about Las Vegas.
Not only are you one of the top champions in the sport, Andre, but I'm a student of the game, or you wouldn't be involved in the first place. Taking a break, and obviously my energy is what it is. I'm just blessed to be doing what I do. It just naturally comes out of me. Let's remove the hype for a moment. What does this fight truly mean to the sport of boxing in 2015? Where we are when it comes to the sport and how it's portrayed and how it's looked upon by the rest of the world?
For the general public, those who aren't diehard fight fans, it's perception. And when Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather, two of the biggest names, two of the biggest earners in the sport financially, can't seem to come together, it looks like our sport as a whole is in disarray, and people just kind of shrug us off as a joke and they say boxing is dying. the diehard boxing fans, we just need this personally. We need to be able to come to a fight like this, do a fight like this for us personally, because we followed the sport for many, many years. We followed both of these fighters, and we paid money for Manny Pacquiao, Floyd Mayweather, whether it's closed circuit, whether it's ticket sales, whether it's pay-per-view. This is a reward that Manny Pacquiao, Floyd Mayweather are giving to the general public at large, but then also the diehard boxing fans.
We've been told we're less than 5 minutes away from beginning the pomp and pageantry that is tonight's main event. I know it's been well chronicled, but just to revisit and set the stage, Andre, this fight was first really talked about when Floyd Mayweather ended his 20-month retirement, beating Juan Manuel Marquez, dominating one of Manny Pacquiao's biggest rivals, his biggest rival. Manny Pacquiao then did a one better and stopping Miguel Cotto a couple of months later. The hue and cry for this mega fight began. It was reported by ESPN that they had made an agreement to meet on March 13th of 2010. Unfortunately, they could not agree on Olympic-style drug testing. And say what you will about Floyd Mayweather, he has been ahead of the curve, and hats off to him for wanting to implement Olympic-style random urine and blood testing. We know that combat sports, especially the scourge of steroids and performance-enhancing drugs, has really plagued the sport. And sure, when you hit a ball, when you tackle someone, yes, it's dangerous. But when you're using your hands as your weapons and you're on performance-enhancing drugs, it's criminal. So Floyd Mayweather first to implement the Olympic-style testing. Manny Pacquiao, for whatever reason, didn't want to do it at the time. But this time, we came to an agreement, and we are here. Well, dust has descended on Las Vegas. The bright lights of the Strip, but none will be brighter than the lights inside the MGM Grand Garden Arena. The fight of the century, the biggest fight of this generation, is now moments away. You wanted the best. You are finally getting the best. Manny Pacquiao, an 8-division champion, finally faces pound-for-pound king, 5-division champion, undefeated at 47-0, Floyd Money Mayweather. Mayweather versus Pacquiao. But unfortunately, it's our job to say a little more, Andre, and we welcome everyone back inside the MGM Grand Garden Arena. Things are the buzz is indeed palpable. And now we've been told just moments away from the ring walks for both Floyd Mayweather and his opponent from the Philippines, Manny PACMAN Pacquiao.
Manny PACMAN.
I'm just amazed. I just keep looking around the arena, and there's such anticipation there. You can cut through the intensity. It's tangible that the people have. You can see it in their eyes. And people are literally, they've been standing up for 20 and 25 minutes just trying to get a glimpse of Manny Pacquiao and Floyd Mayweather. I think it's safe to say that everybody here in the MGM Grand Garden Arena and everybody in the world, they are salivating for this fight to get started tonight.
We're going to let you just soak up some of the atmosphere as we are just moments away. Enjoy the view and just sink it all in, because really nothing more needs to be said. We're ready for this fight. We've been ready for 5 years. 2 hours left. Manny Pacquiao's family in attendance, his mother, his wife, Jinky, his children sitting at ringside. Floyd Mayweather, of course, trained by his father, Floyd Mayweather Jr. That wasn't always the case. For many years they were estranged, and Roger Mayweather was in his corner, still helping out in camp. But after the fight against Miguel Cotto, where he was touched up, he was in a fight. The offensive-minded Roger replaced by the defensive-minded Floyd Sr., who taught Floyd Jr. the shoulder roll, the Michigan shell, if you will, at the age of 5. Now against Southpaws, Floyd Mayweather 8-0, has not lost, but the shoulder roll doesn't always work against a lefty, and especially against a guy who's a master of angles like Manny Pacquiao. Do you think the shoulder roll is going to be a factor to it?
Yeah, I think it is. I think it's just a part of Floyd Mayweather's DNA as a fighter. You can use the shoulder roll for the straight left step cut, even the jab step cut. I just think it's a timing thing, and it's a a little bit more difficult to compute in the mind because it's coming from the opposite angle that we're used to. It's coming from a left-handed stance versus a right-handed stance. So typically when Floyd fights southpaws, sometimes you'll see him a moment early, then once he adjusts, figures out his range, then all of a sudden, typically it's downhill from there. He's left-handed opponent.
One last look at the Las Vegas skyline, and we are now here. Let's go to the classy Jimmy Lynn Jr., who is about to introduce the beginning of the pomp and pageantry for Mayweather versus Pacquiao.
Well, fans, before we bring out our main event fighters at this time, we ask you to rise for the singing of the national anthems. First, ladies and gentlemen, in recognition of our upcoming Cinco de Mayo celebration, we present the national anthem of Mexico. Please welcome to the microphone from Mexicali, Baja California, Mexico, Julio Lopez.
Mexicanos al grito de guerra, el acero apresado y el bridón, y retiembla en sus centros la tierra, al sonoro rugir del cañón. Necesario un extraño enemigo profanar con su planta tu suelo. Piensa, oh patria querida, que el cielo un soldado en cada hijo te dio. Un soldado en cada hijo te dio. Mexicanos al grito de guerra, el acero apresado y el bridón, y retiembla en sus centros la tierra al sonoro rugir del cañón. Y retiembla en sus centros la tierra al sonoro rugir del cañón. ¡Viva México, entonces! ¡Arriba mi gente mexicana! ¡Arriba Mexicali!
Now, Michael Buffer.
As we honor our two champions with their respective national anthems. First, here in the ring, please join in the pastor and the word choir as this Gail Medina sings the national anthem of the Philippines.
Bayang mag-ibig, pwesto sigawan, alab ng puso sa liko'y buhay. Lupang hinihigaw, kuyan ka ng pag-ibig sa ay ginagawin ko na at awit sa pagkayang minamahal. Ang isang kalwat-awat ko'y tagumpay na nagdidinig. Ang binuwing na araw na kailan pa ay mag-ibig. Lugar ang araw na aking pagsinta, buhay lagi sa aking mo. Aming ligaya na ay mag-apin ang malatay ng dahil sa'yo.
Ben!
And now, ladies and gentlemen, we present the national anthem of the United States. To lead us, please welcome to the microphone the multi-talented entertainment superstar, Jamie Foxx.
Oh, say, can you see by the daughter leading light? Oh, so proudly leading at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars. Oh, the ramparts we ride, oh, so gallantly streaming, and the rockets red the bombs are bursting in gave through the night that I'm glad. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave? Oh, the land of the free.
Talent with a capital T, Jamie Foxx.
Beautiful job by Jamie Foxx.
Are you feeling the goosebumps yet, my man? Because I am.
Oh man, I've been feeling them for the past week.
And the moment of truth, the chant of Manny goes up. Here's Jim Lemon Jr.
Gentlemen, here we go. We are ready for the main event of the evening. 5 years in the making, and the time has come for the bout you've all been waiting for. And now, ladies and gentlemen in attendance and boxing fans joining us around the world, live from the MGM Grand in Las Vegas, the wait is over. It's go time!
Rivalry, deeper than competition. So personal, it transcends sport. And speaks to the very core of human nature. Is it about the pursuit of perfection?
Look at this, the play by Floyd Mayweather.
Or the need to defy the odds? To protect a legacy at all costs.
Mayweather remains money.
Or to inspire a nation.
This is the biggest of the Filipino side.
In the end, there will only be one. Rivalries create legends. And legends create history. Tonight, an event that will captivate the world. And forever define an era. Mayweather. Pacquiao. It's been a long time coming. But that time is now.
Pangmatagalan eh, mutulay.
Incredible how relaxed Manny Pacquiao is, and he did it. He got Jimmy Kimmel behind him. They joked that Kimmel said he would fight my Canadian compatriot, Justin Bieber, who's a part of the Floyd Mayweather entourage, but we're about to be struck by the thunder of this crowd when Manny Pacquiao finally enters the building. Andre, you're an Olympic gold medalist. You won the Super 6. You're a champion. What is going through his life right now with this, the most important ring walk of his life?
You talked about the fight, you talked about the fighter, you trained, you ate, slept, and drank this moment. Walking to the ring can almost be a surreal moment for a fighter. You have to fight to stay in the moment, so you don't get caught up in the moment. And I think that's what Manny Pacquiao's doing right now. And to his credit, he looks very calm, very poised. He looks ready for the fight.
Made his debut at 16 in the Philippines, winning titles in an unprecedented 8 divisions: 112, 122, 130, 135, 147, and 154 pounds. He's the lineal champion, the man who beat the man who beat the man in 4 divisions. Mayweather, the second man to do so tonight. Pacquiao has a chance to become the first fighter ever to win a lineal championship in 5 different weight classes.
Champion versus champion. Now making his entrance to the ring, the fighting pride of the Philippines, Manny PACMAN Pacquiao.
We're part of the selfie generation. One of the most famous punts taken right there with Manny, Freddie Roach, and of course Jimmy Kimmel. Can't wait for this crowd to erupt.
That may even be a sponsorship obligation. I read somewhere last night that he has an endorsement there with the phone company. I don't want to say which one it is because I'm not sure. I think that's why we're seeing the extra amount of selfies that they had back out yesterday and tonight.
Look at you, investigative journalist.
Gotta do it.
The Philippine contingent out in full force. A man who is a fighting statesman. A man who is in Congress. A man who has literally picked himself up from nothing, abject poverty at the age of 14. And what a testament to the human spirit. And a testament to never giving up on your dreams. And he never gave up on this dream. Manny Pacquiao is about to enter the ring for the mega fight of this generation.
Anything is possible.
Pacquiao recorded a song that is his ring walk. It's I Am Going to Fight for Filipinos, written by composer and frequent songwriting collaborator Lino Camo. Not much he can't do. And here comes the king. He is the king of the pound for pound rankings. Floyd Money Mayweather. In this business as usual for a man who's made his what, 11 defeats in this venue, a man who has yet to taste defeats in 47 professional fights.
Somewhat, but not quite. He's taken this far plenty of times, like you just mentioned. He's made plenty of millions. He hasn't made the amount of money that he's going to make tonight. He's never taken a walk. His fight has been back. So it's a little bit different.
What does this fight mean to Floyd Mayweather's, well, both of their careers? We're looking at the pound for pound king right now because in many ways he's got a lot more to lose. Manny Pacquiao has lost in defeat 5 times. He's proven he can overcome adversity. This man prides himself on that zero. What does this fight mean to him?
That's part of what Floyd Mayweather sells to the public is that he's invincible. He has an air of invincibility. So he needs everything. Of course, he wants to check after the fight. But right now, it's all about maintaining his status, staying, becoming the king, and keeping it undefeated.
Disputed #1 attraction, the undefeated welterweight and super welterweight champion of the world, Floyd Money Mayweather.
Of course, a mixed reaction here in Las Vegas. Obviously, he has his fan base, but we've talked ad nauseum. Yes, he may be the pound for pound best, but a polarizing persona. A man who flamboyantly displays his man who has had run-ins with the law. We touched upon that, but this is all about tonight's fight. And here's a guy who, like Manny Pacquiao, wasn't born with a silver spoon in his mouth. He was born in the boxing business. His father Floyd, his uncles Roger and Jeff. But here's a man who was a pugilistic prodigy who has become the highest paid athlete on earth. And there's a reason for that, Andre.
Yeah, this has always been a part of Floyd Mayweather's grand plan, was to not only be rich, but to be filthy rich. That's what he's all about. He changed his nickname from Pretty Boy to Money Mayweather. His team is called the Money Team. That speaks for itself. He's getting what he always wanted right here tonight. And again, I can just feel the electricity, and I feel like both guys are ready and prepared to put on a great show for the whole world to see.
Here's the tail of the tape, and again, the advantages in favor of Floyd Mayweather, Andre.
He's got the height advantage, he's got the reach advantage. But again, in these moments, these kind of fights, you can't use that as an excuse. Manny Pacquiao has to find a way to even the score a little bit.
The first time since fighting Oscar De La Hoya that he is the underdog, the B-side, and Freddie Roach, who has had a lot of great lines in the build-up to this fight. He said Floyd Mayweather better enjoy being the A-side because Manny Pacquiao is going to put him on his best side. Easier said than done.
It's easier said than done for sure, but Freddie Roach is doing what he's supposed to do. He's standing up for his guy, and he's showing no fear. He's showing no fear. You got to respect him.
1,876 days after this fight was reported to be taking place for the first time in March of 2010. We are finally here.
Ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening to you, and we welcome you to tonight's epicenter of the sports world, the Grand Garden Arena here at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas, Nevada, for the featured bout of the evening, brought to you by Mayweather Promotions and Top Rank Incorporated in association with Showtime Pay-Per-View and HBO Pay-Per-View. Sponsored by Tecate, Con Carácter, Mexico, Live It to Believe It, and the Weinstein Company, and the new movie Southpaw, starring Jake Gyllenhaal, in theaters everywhere, July 24th.
This contest is sanctioned by the Nevada State Athletic Commission. Chairman Francisco V. Aguilar, Executive Director Bob Bennett. The World Boxing Organization Supervisor is its President Francisco Paco Barcarcel, and the World Boxing Association Supervisor is Gilberto Jesus Mendoza. The WBC Supervisor is President Mauricio Suleiman. At ringside, the three judges scoring will be Bert Clements, Glenn Feldman, and Dave Moretti, and the man in charge of the action inside the ring, World Championship veteran referee Kenny Bayless. And now, the officials are ready, the fighters are in the ring, and they are ready. So for the thousands in attendance and the millions watching around the world, ladies and gentlemen, let's get ready to rumble! Introducing first, fighting out of the red corner, with his trainer Freddie Roach and wearing a yellow and red, official weight 145 pounds. His fighting credentials of 57 victories, including 38 knockouts, along with international and world championship titles in a record 8 different weight divisions, guarantees his place in the Hall of Fame. He's recognized and known the world over as the People's Champion from Sarangani Province, the fighting pride of the Philippines, reigning, defending, two-time WBO welterweight champion of the world, Manny
And his opponent across the ring on my left, hiding out of the blue corner, really needing no introduction the world over, and truly representing some of the skills our sport has ever seen. Wearing black trunks with gold trim, fighting out of Las Vegas, Nevada, he weighed in at a ready 146 pounds. A veteran of 24 world title bouts, he is undefeated in his 18-year campaign with a record of 47 wins, no losses, 26 wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the pound-for-pound great and the pay-per-view king, boxing's future Hall of Famer, the sensational 11-time world champion in 5 weight divisions. Please welcome the reigning, the defending, and the undefeated WBC and WBA welterweight and super welterweight champion of the world, introducing Floyd Money Mayweather. And a referee in charge now to give instructions, Kenny Bayless.
This is a fight that the world has been waiting for. Both of you are world champions. We went over the rules in the dressing room. I want you to keep this fight clean at all times, show good sportsmanship, protect yourself at all times, and what I say you must obey. Good luck to both of you. Touch them up, God bless.
Kenny Bayless, who is refereeing his 8th package. The sound of the opening bell will be music to the ears of fight fans who have waited 5 long years for this legacy-defining fight to materialize. The time has come for Mayweather versus Pacquiao. America's ambassador of avarice is on the sweet side for the Mensa Level United. For his impoverished nation. The two-touch was Floyd Mayweather and Manny Pacquiao. Pacquiao in the yellow with red. Many people expect Manny Pacquiao to have to finish the fight, bring the fight to Floyd Mayweather Andre, and in the first 30 seconds, a bit of a feeling. It would be very good for him to keep up the combinations of 1-2 punches. Freddie Roach said he doesn't want him with a flurry of 5, 6, or 7 because that'll give Floyd Mayweather an opportunity to counter.
Yeah, neither fighter is giving up much ground right now. I think Floyd Mayweather's game plan is to eventually walk Manny Pacquiao down. Both fighters have to be careful as they're engaging the range and trying to slowly take over this fight. But you're right, Manny can't get too excited because Floyd Mayweather is the master of finding the counter early in this fight.
Master counter puncher. Atomic clock accuracy for Floyd Mayweather. Shot straight right hand down the middle. Public enemy #1 of the southpaw. Manny Pacquiao, the 9th southpaw that Floyd Mayweather has faced. He wanted 2 of his former southpaw opponents, DeMarcus Corley and Zab Judah, for his training camp. Many people feel that Manny Pacquiao studied Zab Judah, one of the rare times he has studied tape, especially those first couple of rounds against Floyd Mayweather, to try to find some chink in that armor.
There's nothing like getting in there and experiencing the real thing. Sometimes film won't be completely honest with you because we're not feeling the speed, feeling the power of the punches. When you get in there, that's the moment of truth, and you have to make up your mind. I'm willing to walk through the fire to get my game plan off and do what I need to do to win this fight.
Chants of Manny echo throughout the confines of the MGM Arena. Very much a feeling out process coming up on the final 60 seconds of the opening round.
Floyd Mayweather's doing a good thing right now. Even though he's fighting a southpaw, some right-handed fighters will abandon the jab. So he's got a hard jab, but he's keeping it out there to blind Manny Pacquiao for the straight right hands down the middle.
And attacking the body as he's apt to do with the jab, one of the best body jabbers in the sport. When Manny Pacquiao started, was known as a, well, what's your pony? Had that flat. Freddie Roach, after the first loss, Eric Morales convinced him to add a right hook, which is known as Vanilla Ice. How will that right hook play factor in this fight against the shoulder roll of Floyd Mayweather. Yes, and of course his jab is almost more like a power jab when it is effective.
Sharp and strong.
Total punches in round one, according to PACMAN. Floyd Mayweather 8 of 36 for 22% connect rate. Manny Pacquiao 3 of 29 connect rate. Action begins here in round two.
Pep talk from Freddie Knight to not let Floyd Mayweather be comfortable. But the only problem with that is Floyd not just cutting off the ring, but when he has
timing and no better at managing distance in the sport today than Floyd Money Mayweather.
no question. And what I mean by Manny Pacquiao aiming at the chest is when Floyd Mayweather ducks, his punches have a better chance of hitting Floyd in the head because he'll meet Floyd at the point instead of aiming at his head.
Will May indeed play a pivotal factor in this fight, breaking up the clinch. Mayweather very effective with that lead right hand, really backing him up to now. Thunderous chance of Manny here at the MGM Grand in Las Vegas, coming up on the final minute of the second round.
Straight right hand is on point for Floyd right now.
Missed with ducked underneath the left hook by Mayweather. They touch gloves.
Floyd Mayweather playing ref and he said, keep it clean, keep it clean.
Well, he's not exactly known for fighting by the Marcus of Queensberry rules at all times. But sometimes he punches, loves to use the forearms, his elbows, and he loves to, lean on that head sometimes. Escape from the ropes, back to his office, his domain, the center of the ring.
Center of the ring, that's what Floyd wants to be, but don't make no mistake about it. Floyd is comfortable anywhere in that square circle. This is what he's all about.
So thus far, Floyd Mayweather able to said Manny Pacquiao would win in their match. Coles is a member of the money team. Wahlberg a member of Team PACMAN. We'll find out who's going to take on that cash.
the ropes, okay? Can't roll that penny a little bit more, okay? A little more footwork, okay? Don't walk into it. A little more footwork. There you go. There's domination, okay? Footwork, domination, okay?
The bell in round 3, total punches in round 2 for Floyd Mayweather, 11 of 32 for 34%, Manny Pacquiao 6 of 44 for 14%. You know that Floyd Mayweather is going to be economical. Do the numbers surprise you for Manny Pacquiao, who's used to throwing a lot more punches than that?
Well, I'm not surprised. I mean, that's what happens when you fight a master counterpuncher like Floyd. He cuts the punch count in half because he's not there to be hit. And then when you do throw, he counters. So you don't want to throw 100 punches around. That's what Floyd Mayweather's done throughout the duration of his career with volume punches.
Mayweather's plus 24 plus minus rating, number 1 amongst all current championship caliber fighters. That means he lands 24% higher than his opponents do against him, going downstairs to the midsection with that straight right hand at the bell line. Perhaps thinking that Manny thinking was a little low.
A decent straight left.
Pacquiao coming at you saying reckless is really what the fans want to see. They want to see action.
It's got to be controlled aggression. If not, something bad can
It was a rematch against Floyd doing what he does, leaning on Manny Pacquiao, using all the tricks of the trade and then lunging in with a right hand.
You know when you see Floyd Mayweather put his back foot kind of up in the air and he leans forward, he's coming for that lead straight right hand. Manny has to be aware of that.
Coming up on the final minute of the 3rd round, Pacquiao has Mayweather on the ropes but maintaining distance right now. Mayweather sticks the jab, leads with the right, and now Mayweather was penalized 1 point against Jose Luis Castillo in their first meeting for using his elbow. That's something that Kenny Bayless is going to have to really pay attention to, Andre.
Yeah, it's one thing to have an occasional situation, but if it keeps happening, he's going to have to step in and do something about it. Or Manny Pacquiao may have to police the situation himself.
Floyd Mayweather missing with the right hand. The jab attacked by Manny Pacquiao that turned out to be arm punches. Thus far, Manny Pacquiao unable to get on the inside where he needs to be, but I know against the master counterpuncher, the top defensive fighter of his era.
This is what you want to keep your eyes on with Floyd Mayweather. He's landed to the head, but now he's starting to land to the body. That straight right was strong, straight, and accurate, and then he felt that.
Borderline, but not low, Andre.
It wasn't a low shot, it was borderline. Legal shot. Straight right from Floyd that raised the head of Manny Pacquiao. Manny tried to come back with the overhand left and missed. We've seen that kind of sequence in the first couple rounds early in this fight. A nice sequence right here from both fighters and Manny Pacquiao. Short exchange, but I'd have to say that they exchange got the crowd out of
Come to the center of the ring for round 4. According to power punch in the round 3. Mayweather 20 of 41 for 49%. Manny Pacquiao 11 of 47 for 23%. Mayweather has landed 50% of his power shots in his last 13 fights. Number 1 among CompuBox categorical leaders. Pacquiao has landed 47% of his. Left hand to Floyd's hand.
Yeah, if Manny Pacquiao can throw 5 Watch the sequence right now. Floyd's using the shoulder roll, and it's very effective against Manny right now.
Another Grand Rapids native, James lights out Tony. Also using the shoulder roll to great effect, one of the best defensive fighters of this era. Pacquiao, one of the greatest offensive fighters of any era, trying to go on the attack here against Floyd Mayweather. Backs him up with that right. Mayweather with the high guard. Manny Pacquiao again with the flurry of punches. Short burst.
Manny, even though he's not having, large success, he's having the best success when he starts low with Floyd Mayweather. He starts to the body and then works his way up. That's the best chance he has. But if he goes straight for the head, Floyd's going to time it every day that we can get out of the way. Somebody's going to have to earn it tonight if they want to be the last man standing. Minute remaining in the fourth. Again against the ropes. Punches up the jab, block by the southpaw Pacquiao. Misses with the jab of his own. That's straight hand on the leg. Mayweather effective as always. Floyd Mayweather seems to have his wits about him. He's clear-headed and he's back to his fight.
What a great round for Manny Pacquiao here at the MGM Grand.
Let me see an exchange.
Trying to find that precious real estate. Mayweather goes downstairs to the body with the right hand. That jab is blocked by Pacquiao. Face of Pacquiao by Mayweather.
Floyd is a champion and Floyd is a veteran. And Floyd doesn't get credit for his toughness, his grit. He gets angry and gets upset when you buckle him or land a good shot against him, and he slowly starts to take over. Man, he can't let that happen right now.
And how's this for an illuminating turn of events in between rounds? Mayweather Sr. broke counter right across by Mayweather. And he was fighting like he was scared. Was that motivational? That's the truth. It's what Floyd Sr. said.
Out of character for Floyd Sr.
He's unconquered in 47 prize fights. Many thought this would be his toughest test. And Manny Pacquiao is giving and bringing the fight to him thus far.
And let's keep it in perspective. Floyd is ahead in this fight, and I think he's dominating this fight. Manny Pacquiao had a moment, but he has to capitalize on it, because if not, he'll look up and Floyd will be way up ahead before he knows it.
And the seconds continue to tick away. These early rounds, very important in any Mayweather fight. Usually taking the first 3 or 4 rounds to collect the data, make those adjustments before turning the tables in the second half of the fight. And controlling matters, and there he again controls Pacquiao with a headlock, and right away Kenny Bayless admonishes him and tells him to break.
You have to wonder how the judges are scoring this fight. Sometimes they don't always see things the same. Sometimes you think a round they go to Floyd and they're like, maybe Manny's aggressiveness. Who knows?
Hey, they're only human. How much does the crowd impact them?
This fight has been exciting, and it's only the 5th round. We still got a lot of fight left.
Final 20 seconds of the 5th.
Manny just missed that right hook we were talking about earlier.
Manny fainting with his feet. Just be careful leaning in. Mayweather effective with that right uppercut as well. Plenty of distance between them. Mayweather trying to trap him, maybe baiting him to the rope. A huge contingent, and of course always concern on any loved one's face, Andre. Whether they're winning or not, they know what's at stake anytime they step into the ring.
Something about seeing the families of fighter at ringside. It certainly humanizes the fighter. It shows the viewing audience that these guys are not just gladiators, they're not just brutal warriors, but they're also human beings. Risking a lot.
Through round 5, as we begin round 6, average punches per round. Mayweather 10 of 32 for 32%. PACMAN 5 of 35 for 17%. That punches or jabs, my man? Total punches, okay, thank you. I'm cleaning that up, I'm sorry, we're trying to give you the best information we can, getting it secondhand from CompuBox. And now Mayweather absorbing these shots from Manny Pacquiao. This is what Pacquiao has to continue to do. He has to continue to not smother his offense, but get on the inside, unleash the combination.
It's not easy when you got a fighter as skilled as Floyd Mayweather with a reach advantage. Good sequence right there. Floyd landed, Manny came right back. I mean, Manny has to be in the range.
Johnny on the spot.
Mayweather tried a classic move there. He was kind of in the corner. He used a check hook. It didn't land. Manny blocked it. Good shot from Manny Pacquiao on the butt. You know that got Floyd Mayweather's attention.
Of course, he used the check hook to full effect in Mayweather against Ricky Hatton. But then Pacquiao did him one better with one of the most brutal one-punch knockouts you will ever see against the Manchester Warrior.
Scary, scary knockout.
And of course, Pacquiao on the receiving end of a very scary knockout in his last loss against Juan Manuel Marquez in 2012.
To the fans at home, this is the 6th round. This is when the fight starts in a 12th round. championship fight.
Mayweather puts himself in the corner. That long right hand finds the target. There he paused, using the jab as a rangefinder. Pacquiao standing out of harm's way, but that jab is deflected off his face again. Comes to the inside with a flurry of punches. Right hand to the body, next counter right by Pacquiao. Final seconds of the sixth as we reach the midway point of this 12-round welterweight title unification showdown. The relationship between Floyd Sr., well, there's a power couple in the entertainment industry, JC, who of course, your partner, Daniel, you're with Beyonce Queen Bey, but what about what Floyd Mayweather Sr. said in that corner? Hey,
Never heard Floyd Mayweather Sr. talk like that, but sometimes in a fight like this, of this magnitude, sometimes you need to be talked to like that. And Floyd Mayweather knows his dad is there to tell him Floyd Mayweather's going to respond to the way his father just talked to him.
At the fighter meeting, Floyd Mayweather told us that he does not love boxing anymore, that it's the business, that come September when his contract with Showtime ends, the sixth fight of the contract, he will walk away from the sport. Has he already mentally checked out? I dare to say so, but here in round 7 now, Manny Pacquiao going on the attack, the fan rallying behind him.
Now, Mayweather's starting to press a little bit. Manny's being patient, and he's landed a few jabs.
Jab that caught Pacquiao off balance. Total punches in round 6 by the way. Pacquiao, 13 of 25 in the jab, 8 of 13 in the power. Or excuse me, that was Floyd Mayweather. I'm not going to read those stats out loud. Either give them to me right or let's not do it all. This is the wow. Round 7 of May 45 left. That's 5 times, but Andre, we're getting false information.
I'm surprised that Floyd hasn't gone to the body a little bit more. He's tried, and he's landed some good shots, but I think it'll benefit Floyd and slow Manny down a little bit. Good shot right here, right there. If he keeps going the straight left to the body, and then when he gets inside, let his hands go down low, I think that'll pay dividends late in this fight.
Pacquiao, Floyd Mayweather using that depth footwork to escape. Minute 19 left in the 7th again, leaning on the smaller Pacquiao, pushing it down. Drawing the eye of the crowd and the admonishment of the referee. Jab through the guard by Mayweather, trying to settle things down. There again is that evasive head movement. Trying now to establish that very effective jab, Andre.
We got some blood on the lip of Floyd Mayweather. Floyd Mayweather is in a real fight right now. He knows it, his corner knows it, but this is what these moments are all about. Who can make the adjustments? Who can execute the game plan in the moment?
Straight left hand, there's a check left hook by Mayweather. Under 30 seconds left in the 7th.
I think it's safe to say that this fight is living up to the hype.
And then some, as Manny Pacquiao continues to hunt down Mayweather, who has his back along the ropes. Mayweather sidesteps the incoming pride of the Philippines. Terrific stuff here at the MGM Grand as Pacquiao continues to bring the fight to Floyd Mayweather.
heard of this guy? Give me the ropes. You gotta jack a little bit more forward when you need the ropes. Okay, good on. Alright?
To the face of Floyd Mayweather, Floyd deflects the left. That just speaks to Floyd's brilliance right there. He's going to get out of the way 8 times out of 10, but you try to land one hand.
We are in round number 8. This fight is flying by, my man. We all know as Mayweather lands a stiff jab, the sport that you make your living in, Andre, and what these two proud prize fighters do as well. We look at boxing as a primal form of trauma, and what it reveals is what frightens most human beings, the unvarnished truth. What Floyd Mayweather is learning from Manny Pacquiao is thus far scary Floyd Sr.
Yeah, I mean, this is, you know, it seems that when Manny lands that straight left, he's getting Floyd's attention every time.
And it's when Floyd is in that shoulder roll position that Manny Pacquiao's had some success.
9 times out of 10, Manny doesn't aim for the head, he's aiming a little lower, and Floyd falls into the shot.
Pacquiao pot shots Mayweather through the guard with the lead left. There's a jab from Mayweather. Punches in that left hand. Score.
See Pacquiao have a lot of success when he starts low, and works his way up. Floyd eventually falls into the straight left, and that's when Manny scores.
Pacquiao known for showcasing more display of angles than you would find in a geometry department, and that's another thing that Mayweather has. Looking at Pacquiao going downstairs with the left hook, another left hand to the body, the jab. Under a minute and a half left in the 8th round. Good pull counter right hand by Mayweather.
Let's see if Manny Pacquiao can answer that. Great right hand for Mayweather.
Mayweather trying to set hold with the jab. There's another couple of lead left hooks that block the side of Pacquiao's head. Under a minute left in the 8th.
That got Manny's attention for sure. Lead left hooks from Floyd Mayweather.
And that's what Floyd Sr. was looking for.
That's that reach advantage we're talking about.
5-inch reach advantage for Floyd Mayweather. 45 seconds left in the 8th. Pacquiao has definitely not been reckless by any means, has been controlled, but has shown flashes of his offensive brilliance and has actually scored some good shots on Mayweather with those left hands.
Both men landed good shots. Great intensity in this fight. Ebbs and flows back and forth. This is what the people paid to see.
Now Mayweather, again, setting the trap there, leaning in, staying at distance though, Andre.
Good point. That's a trap. When you see Floyd kind of giving you his head, trust me, he's not giving you his head. He wants you to commit so he can counter.
Lead left hook, the check off from Mayweather. Less than 10 seconds remaining. And thus far, the biggest fight of our generation is delivering everything you could ask for. Mayweather versus Pacquiao.
Here we see Floyd get in range, throw the jab. He missed the jab. Excuse me, Manny Pacquiao steps to the side and throws a beautiful straight left down the pipe. Straight left. As champion 2, Floyd Mayweather answered with a beautiful straight right. Got Manny's attention. This is what this fight is all about. Back and forth, ebbs and flows. Again, can't say it enough. This is what the people paid to see.
The true artistry of the sweet science. An intense Floyd Sr. pressing down his son, and you have to wonder what's going through Floyd Jr.'s mind as we begin round number 9. After 8 rounds, Andre, quick synopsis of what you've been impressed with most from both of these warriors.
I just appreciate the fact that both of these guys have given it, they've taken it, and good shot from Floyd right there.
Again, setting the trap, putting themselves
This is
in
just the fight that we anticipated. There's no clear-cut winner. There's no clear-cut person that's dominant, even though I had Floyd up 5 rounds to 3. Floyd has been in this situation before where a fight was tight. He stayed patient and pulled away. Again, he wasn't fighting Manny Pacquiao. Let's see what happens down the stretch.
Catches Floyd, he's able to maneuver out. Freddie Roach's contention that Mayweather's legs are gone. I don't know if they're gone, but that he's slowed down. Have you seen evidence of that in this fight?
You just don't have to move as much. If your defense is against Floyd Mayweather, you don't have to move so much. I don't think that's happening.
Under 2 minutes now left in the 9th round. Knowledgeable observers also wanting to see if Pacquiao would be able to land that left uppercut. As we've seen in the past, that Mayweather has a tendency to lean to his right. But there, using that left hook again. Left down the middle, catches Mayweather. And again, the crowd showing their support for the Philippine pride and joy, Manny Pacquiao.
You can't let Floyd just sit out there and pot shot him like that. He's got to stay mentally engaged and not allow himself to get hit with those kind of shots. Even though those shots are knocking him down or out, they're still debilitating shots.
Yet Mayweather missed with another left hook. That jab was blocked by Manny using that upper body movement, trying to find an entry to get in close with under a minute remaining. Goes to the right, gets tagged though on the right counter from Floyd. Mayweather.
Good counter, but decent body work from Pacquiao right there.
45 seconds left in the night. There's that right cross that connects on Pacquiao's jaw.
A straight right from Floyd Mayweather.
30 seconds left in the 9th round. There's another straight left hand, right hand by Mayweather that scores. That's his bread and butter. Now along the right, Pacquiao goes to the body. Mayweather moving to his left. 10 seconds. Another lead right hand against Mayweather. Andre put you on the hot seat. Who won that very pivotal, contentious round?
I think Floyd Mayweather won the round, even though Manny had some moments late in the fight. But sometimes with judging, sometimes with the fans reacting, sometimes the fighter is quote unquote still around, even though he didn't do much early in the round.
Let's listen in. I want you to finish that thought. Freddie Roach complaining about Mayweather's as well. To warn him about that. What's the body language of Floyd Mayweather telling you in the corner, Andre?
I think he's just in an intense fight. I mean, I don't see anything different about Floyd Mayweather, even with his father getting on him and showing some, sense of urgency. I think Floyd's champion does is staying composed.
Round 10, both of them staying composed here after 9 rounds of action to determine who is the best fighter of their generation. Mayweather, 47-0. 96 knockouts. Manny Pacquiao, 57-5-2 with 38 KOs.
Back when it was 15 rounds, rounds 13, 14, and 15, we called the championship rounds, the do or die rounds. Our modern day championship rounds are 10, 11, and 12.
Short left hook by Pacquiao, that hits a jab from Mayweather. What adjustments do you feel each athlete should make to control or even better dominate the home stretch?
I would like to see Floyd, even though it's getting late in the fight, he can still work the body of Manny Pacquiao and work his way back up and possibly catch Manny like that.
Counter again with the right hand. Floyd Sr. wants him to come forward. He's spending most of his time in his back foot, which you've seen all the time.
Yeah, and Manny has to not stay out there when he's not busy. He has to either be out of range or in range to punch. He can't just stand there and let Floyd use his reach advantage with the jab and the straight rights. It's just not good, and he's, Floyd Mayweather's racking up points in the end zone. And I think this last 3 rounds, the last 2.5 rounds are going to boil down to who wants it more.
Under a minute and a half left in the 10th. Left hand again by Pacquiao. Floyd again shifts to his left. And that's the one thing about Manny Pacquiao, effective whether you go left or right. Again, has added that right hook. Manila Ice hasn't really been a factor here thus far in the fight. They're trying to keep Floyd Mayweather pinned along the ropes. Wants to cut off that ring.
And I don't know if Manny has any leg cramps or anything like that. We haven't heard anything in the corner, but I'd like to see him use his leg. He's got good legs, in and out movement. Thank Floyd, and then attack. Bam, bam, and then attack, and he'll be more successful.
He's been burdened with leg cramps throughout his career. It's because of the size of his calves. He actually had to buy an $1,800 bottle of lotion treatment approved by the USADA. Freddie Roach told us to help him camp, so we don't know what that means now. There's that speed on display for Pacquiao, and a crazy right counter by Mayweather.
And those are moments where he didn't land much, but the crowd can deceive the judges, and maybe they'll land, or maybe they'll give Pacquiao points for that sequence.
Under 30 seconds left in the 10th. Mayweather ducks underneath that. Left cross, the jab from Pacquiao. Doesn't always use the jab. As an effective jab, can use it almost like a power jab, but Mayweather doing a good job now of avoiding Pacquiao. Championship rounds. Mayweather, Kin in attendance, enjoying the fact that they are now on camera.
Oh, good job.
Harrison Floyd with a successful counter right hand. He allowed Manny to touch him so he can stay in range to counter with the straight right hand and take advantage of the reach advantage that he has against Manny Pacquiao. Beautiful shot from Floyd. There you go, that's right.
One of Mayweather's biggest supporters, fellow Canadian Justin Bieber. No surprise to see him ringside. Round 11, Mayweather on the attack with that right hand. More aggressive Mayweather here to kick off the championship rounds. In a sense of urgency, as there should be, right, Andre, at this point in the fight.
100% these last 2 rounds. You don't know how the judges are looking at it. You don't know how they're scoring it. You got to try to seize these last 2 rounds of Floyd Mayweather or Manny Pacquiao.
Bayless warning them about the feet. Of course, as a southpaw, you want to keep that lead right foot to the outside of Mayweather's left.
That right hand was a potential knockout right hand. Floyd Mayweather's trying to catch Manny Pacquiao, not with a stinging shot, but a knockout blow.
There's a hard shot to the body and a left hand upstairs by Pacquiao. But again, Mayweather backing up. With his size and reach, would you like to see him come forward like his father and impose that size?
But with all due respect to Floyd Sr., sometimes the fighter's in the ring. Sometimes the trainer can see what a fighter doesn't, and sometimes the fighter can feel what a trainer doesn't. So if Floyd isn't coming forward, it's so easy.
Left hand lead by Pacquiao. There's another left hand that cuts Mayweather on the ear. He was vacating the premises, so trying to throw with that punch.
These last 2 rounds are very, very important
And
for both
again,
fighters.
left hand to the body. Sorry, Andre. Right hand upstairs by Pacquiao, mixing up the attack.
Started low, you finished out. Now he knows Floyd wants to come back with offense, and this is where Manny has to be defensively responsible. You see Floyd coming, you got to know, you got to be prepared for him so he doesn't pot shot you.
Mayweather effectively pot shot him there, picked him off, and they're able to laterally move away from the right hand. Final 60 seconds of the 11th round for the welterweight title unification. And to determine the best fighter of the era. Mayweather in the corner, but rolling and really avoiding all of those punches and landing a counter right hand as he's apt to do.
Looks like Pacquiao's trying to steal
Counter left by Mayweather.
because Floyd has pretty much dominated most of this round. Same tactic Sugar Ray Leonard used against Marvin Hagler. You don't know what the judges are looking at. Floyd has to be vigilant about the last 15-20 seconds of each round down the stretch.
And the final 20 seconds upon us. Pacquiao now on the defensive. Mayweather coming forward. Mayweather goes to the body with the jab. We are headed to the final 3 minutes of a fight we waited 5 years to materialize. It's come down to the final round.
Floyd Mayweather line up Manny Pacquiao with the jab, and then he comes not down the middle, but around the house, around the gloves of Manny Pacquiao. Early in that round, Manny Pacquiao felt that for sure. Here we see Floyd in his prevent mode. Hands up, trying to avoid the shots of Manny Pacquiao. Manny Pacquiao grazed him, but nothing significant in that sequence on the ropes.
Combination, okay? Alright, he's going down, you know what
It's very possible that this fight can come down to this round. Once again, you never know how the judges are seeing this fight. Floyd or Manny, you can't leave anything to chance.
And the two legends in the making, of course, future Hall of Famers embrace as we begin the fight. Manny Pacquiao. Could it possibly be coming down to this round, Andre? Or am I just telling the story of this fight and missing some of the nuances that the judges at ringside might be seeing?
Well, we don't know. I mean, I have Floyd up 8 rounds to 3, but that's not the official scorecard. So there's no telling. So again, both fighters can leave nothing to chance. If you're Manny or Floyd, you want to win this round and you want to win it big. You want to leave no question.
Mayweather again going to ropes before moving to his left and utilizing that deft footwork. Pacquiao still on his back. 2 minutes left in the fight.
Manny's got to take some risks.
Yes, exactly.
Lands that one shot, he's got to come back. And he doesn't land. It's a perception that he's being aggressive.
Left to the body, a straight left down the middle, connected for Pacquiao. There's a stiff jab by Mayweather. Lead left hand from Mayweather. Looking to land that left hook. Picks him up with the right hand. Just 90 seconds remain. Pacquiao has Mayweather along the ropes, and Mayweather immediately clinches.
At this point in the round, at the halfway point, Floyd is definitely up in this round and looking a lot sharper and landing the cleaner shots. If Manny wants to make a case for this round, he's going to have to close this round strong.
Oh, there's Mayweather acknowledging, okay, I'm not going to push his head down. Immediately lets go. Final 60 seconds of the fight. Mayweather leads with the right. The crowd here sensing the finishing. And a fight that is definitely the boxer Floyd Mayweather. The offensive juggernaut Manny Pacquiao. The crowd now getting to its feet. Our last minute dramatics in store here at the MGM Grand Garden Arena. Seated at ringside to render their verdict.
10 seconds left.
10 seconds remain. Mayweather sensing that he is not. The final bell has gone.
I'm excited, man.
With all of the money being made here tonight, And with these, the two biggest names. Floyd Mayweather says he has only one fight left, that being in September. Regardless of the outcome tonight, Andre, judging by what we saw, is it worth a repeat?
I think it may be. I think we'll be here.
We'll determine that.
I think we'll be here in a few moments. We'll determine that. Definitely. But I would definitely love to see it again.
Before we hear the official verdict, Andre, what did you like? What do you think if let's say, I mean, on your scorecards you have Floyd winning, that could very well be the case. What did each of these two do best, and what could they have done a better job of?
I think both guys took the punches well from each other. Floyd had some moments where he got rocked visibly. He stayed calm, and he was able to respond and come back like a champion does. He didn't get discouraged when Floyd was landing those sharp, clean punches. He continued to press forward. I don't think he quite did enough, but you got to give him credit for trying. I think Floyd showed why he is who he is, and why he's the top of the pound for pound list. And, you know, you got to respect that union right there between Floyd Sr. and Floyd Jr. Mayweather Sr. and Mayweather Jr. Sometimes you got to get on the people. Sometimes you got to get on your son and tell him, you're behind, you're losing this fight. He responded the way he was supposed to.
Mayweather punching the crowd. So in total, punches landed 146 to 81 in favor of Floyd Mayweather. And that may be a portent, a harbinger of what's to come. Yeah, I think let's listen to this. You are one tough fighter to live, is what Floyd Mayweather keeps saying to Manny Pacquiao. Forget about all the money that these two will have made here tonight. It's about their respective legacy, and I think both can take their hats off tonight, Andre, for doing the sport of boxing proud.
Yeah, I can't speak enough about it. They made the fight happen. You know, coming together, they made the fight happen by actually engaging and putting on a show tonight. Hats off to both guys.
And if it were a popularity contest, that Manny Pacquiao would be walking away with the biggest win of his career. But we remain on tenterhooks. We await the official verdict. The three judges at ringside. Glenn Feldman, who's been a pro judge for 23 years. Dave Moretti, who is as respected a judge as there is, has worked 5 Pacquiao fights and 9 Mayweather fights, including the last 3. Bert Clemens has been a pro judge for 27 years. He's worked 3 Mayweather fights, 1 Pacquiao fight. Feldman, who we mentioned earlier, never judging a Pacquiao fight. The only Mayweather fight he worked was in 1998 versus Miguel Melo. I think the time has arrived. MGM Grand. And those of you watching around the world, we're about to find out who will walk away the victor.
Here at the MGM Grand, we go to the scorecards.
Judge at ringside, Dave Moretti scores about 118 to 110. Judges Bert Clements and Glenn Feldman both scored about the same, 116 to 112. All three in favor of the winner by unanimous decision. He is now the unified WBC, WBA, and WBO welterweight champion of the world. And still...
Well, Andre, your unofficial scores weren't that far off. Judge Moretti 118, 110, Clements 116, 112. Feldman also 116, 112. For the man who's claimed to being TBE the best ever will continue to be debated, I'm sure, but following his 48th straight win, he is now TBOT, the best of this era.
No question about it. And when it comes to him being one of the greatest of all time, I think one would be foolish to not have Floyd Mayweather in the discussion.
He'll have a chance for Rocky Marciano's record in what Mayweather maintains will be his final fight in September. Time will tell. He is now 48-0. And for Manny Pacquiao tasting defeat for the 6th time, no shame in the performance here tonight. Let's go to Jim Gray.
Congratulations on this victory. To hear the word still undefeated.
First off, I want to thank God for this victory. I want to thank all the fans that came to Las Vegas. I want to thank all the fans around the world that supported this event. He's a hell of a fighter. And I take my hat off to Manny Pacquiao. I see where now I see why he's one of the guys that's at the pinnacle in the sport of boxing.
Was this easier than you had anticipated?
I knew he was going to push me. I knew he was going to win some rounds. You know, he had moments in the fight, but you know, I kept him on the outside. I was a smart fighter. I outboxed him. I wasn't getting hit with a lot of shots until I sat right there in the pocket. That's when he would land a lot of shots. And we did what we had to do tonight. I'm truly blessed. Manny Pacquiao was blessed, and I want to thank all the fans that came out to support this event.
Why do you think you never figured out that left jab in your right hand?
You know, I can't really say. You know, I'm just, you know, a calculated fighter. You know, he's a tough competitor. But like I said before, you know, I gotta take my hat up to my dad, because without my dad, I wouldn't be where I'm at.
And he was riding you. Why was he riding you so hard?
Because my dad wanted me to do more. But Manny Pacquiao's a tough competitor. You know, he's a very, very awkward fighter, so I have to take my time and watch him extremely close.
You said a couple of times to me and to others, you never wanted to win a fight so bad as you wanted to win this fight. Because it was so long in coming?
You say things sometimes, but all 48 fights, you know, all 47 fights before I got to this point played a major key.
But this one particularly, why?
Maybe not this one. All fights played a major key, you know. I wanted to win all fights extremely bad. Manny Pacquiao is a tough competitor. He's the true champion at heart. And we both was at our best tonight.
Was this worth the wait?
When the history books is written, it was worth the wait.
What's left for you?
I got one more fight.